You guys ready for the weekly energy report? I am. Actually, my spirit activated for the reading before I even went live today. So, I have like a download that just came in for us. And I tried to just like put it on hold a little bit and then get my stuff together here, and now I'm live. But I'm gonna try and tap into it. So take some deep breaths. In case you can hear the children screaming in the background, that's the Montessori school next door. We're gonna work with that energy, a very exuberant and innocent and pure vibration right next door. My window's open a little, so there might be some audio disturbance. Do let me know if you can't hear me. I want you to hear me. I don't know, maybe the kids will go in soon. I'm not sure how loud they are for you. It's just spirit is here, and I have to do this reading. All right, are you guys ready for this? I gotta get right into the spirit message. And then I've got my oracle deck right here, and I've got my tarot deck right here, and we'll get into our predictions for the week. Oh, in case you don't know me, I'm Brigette, love steady life. And I love you. Yay! Okay. So this reading and this message is for everyone. Everyone. Now the term awakening collective isn't even valid because every single human being on earth is awakening. So I just get to say this is a reading for humans. So if you happen to come upon this reading and something about it makes you want to stay on, it's divine, and this is for you. Wow, those kids are having a lot of fun. I'm a little jealous. I don't know if you guys can hear them. Let me come closer, because I want you guys to really get this. I want you to try and receive the light codes, but also I'm going to try and communicate in a really clear language. Okay. Right now, everyone is kind of, hold on, rewrite. Okay, I received a download yesterday. I was writing for 2 hours. I'm going to be making some posts out of it. And I'm trying not to share that content since I'm going to share it tomorrow. But now I see it's actually the gateway to this new content. So just know the posts that I'm making this week are going to all further explain this topic. So if you don't totally get what I'm talking about in terms of the shadow work stuff I'm about to say, just know I'm going to be posting so much more about it. I'm even going to make a blog post on my website about it. All right, but Spirit needs me to get into this. Everybody is being forced into shadow work right now. And everybody is being forced into shadow work in such a way right now that what my spirit is telling me is that we no longer have to consciously do shadow work. Instead, everyone's shadow is splayed out for them to see and witness, and bear witness to. Everyone is facing it right now. Everyone is having some kind of epiphanies, new ideas, realizations, and awarenesses about their shadow self. FYI, other people refer to shadow self literally as ego. Some people refer to shadow self, such as myself, as like the accumulation of a karmic debt in your infinite timeline, or it could even be the culmination of generational curses in your bloodline. You know, it could be all of those things, the unconscious parts of us, the automated pattern parts of us, etc. Anyways, the low vibrational stuff of us. Shadow. So you no longer really have to try to do shadow work anymore. As long as you're present and here in the moment, you're going to be forced to face yourself. Yes, this means in response, some people will resist and are going to step into some escapism and escapist tactics. So just be aware this week that if you really find yourself wanting to escape, you're just going to want to sit in the discomfort a little longer, because it means you're integrating something. It means something within you is shifting. It's okay. We will be present for the duality of the experience by, getting to experience some emotional highs and some good times, right? And then when we feel a little disconnected or a little sad or just we're kind of forced into this moment of self-reflection this week, constantly faced with the truth of what our shadow is, constantly faced, what Spirit is telling me is our shadow self is splayed out in front of us. That's the phrase. So just know this week, I want you to be easy on yourself. You really don't have to do too much work in starting your shadow work because it is being forced upon you right now, okay? So that's step one. It's being forced upon you. You're going to have epiphanies. You're going to have realizations. Depending upon where you are in the process, your realizations that are inspired by this splayed out version of yourself that you can suddenly see, and it's all these parts of yourself that you probably don't like or don't want to face. But depending on where you are in your process, these things you come to realize this week, they might just be so fucking uncomfortable that escaping is the only thing you can do. And I just want you to know, like, sometimes escaping in tiny bits helps, and sometimes, like, the word escape isn't right. Like, instead of escaping all the way, you can just do something small that takes you away for a moment. Like, let me take a deep breath. Let me chug some water. Let me go pick my cat up. Because, we can add other seasonings to any moment. We can add other qualities to any moment that we're in to enhance it or just shift the vibration of it without escaping the moment. Anyways, okay. So this week, major theme, being faced with our shadow self. We are going to be offered so many opportunities to upgrade, consciously upgrade. We are going to be given so many opportunities this week to really realize new things about ourselves and where we want to expand, because we are being given the opportunity to expand. In fact, Spirit says we are energetically, spiritually expanding involuntarily, and this is why shadow self is being forced upon us, because it's coming out from the darkness of our soul. It's rising to the surface and into our conscious awareness, and then we're looking at it and we're like, wait a minute, subconscious, what are you doing up here? Why can I see you? And now that I can see you, I got to do something about you. It's okay. This week, it will be a divine unraveling of the ego. This week, it will be a divine unraveling of the shadow self. So as you come to have new realizations about yourself, about your weaknesses, about your patterns, your traumas, as you have these epiphanies, hold compassion for yourself, love on yourself, and just know that it's coming up so that you can have new ideas about it. And we always just want to make sure we're always choosing something new. Always choosing a new response in any way that's different than the way we used to respond to it. And with love, a willingness to talk to yourself and talk yourself down sometimes, and a willingness to be like, okay, I see that I feel this way, all right. Okay, hello, I see now I've got this really traumatic voice in my mind that's telling me like some really disgusting shit that doesn't make me feel good. And then I will single that voice out and we'll talk to it. I am the boss of this here realm. Once I see who is here and what they are saying, I determine if they can stay or if they will go. And I set the boundaries with myself. So this week, it's just going to be so easy to shift your mindsets and to acknowledge old patterns within yourself and to just get rid of them. So that's going to be awesome. And like I said, the flip side of that is escapism, escapists, whatever. Why would you want to escape from such a magically potent time of transformation? And just remember that just because a feeling you're having is uncomfortable doesn't make it bad. A lot of integration is extremely uncomfortable. And if you have a big emotional or energetic experience, that's going to cause a bigger ripple effect into your emotional field, energetic field. It's going to require more time to integrate. And integration should not feel like ecstatic, like, oh, when you're integrating, when you're getting a download, it feels that way. No, when you're integrating the information, sometimes we can feel detached. And sometimes that needs to happen because we need to detach from the mind, because the mind is too small for the size of the mind that the integration requires. So we'll integrate the energy, and then all of a sudden we have to consciously let the mind open to match and meet the vibration of the energy that we've just integrated. So just know integration isn't always comfortable. Have compassion for yourself. Okay. So that's part one of the channeled message for this week's energy report. Big opportunity this week for big ol' shifting. Shadow self splayed out in front of you. Shadow work is not something you really have to effort to do this week. It's just going to be a component of life. In fact, what Spirit is telling me is from now on, like shadow work, it's completely different than light work, by the way. They sound similar, but they're two completely different terms. Just want to say that. Shadow work is no longer like something you're going to have to like remember to put in your day. Your shadow work is going to be thrust upon you by the energies, and then how you respond to this involuntary divine shadow work moments that are given to you throughout your day. Well, that's up to you how you respond, whether you escape the moment or you utilize the opportunity. Spirit will only show you something, offer you a moment for an epiphany if you're ready for it. So if a component of shadow becomes aware, if you become aware of a component of shadow, know that that's a divine moment where your mind is opening. And that means that there's a divine epiphany coming through to allow you to perceive that component of your shadow differently in a higher vibrational, more love-based way, allowing your mind to open and that concept of shadow to simply dissolve because it has been upgraded. So that feels really complete now. So that's the thing that I felt very urgently. Actually, there's two things. I still have another thing very urgently in my spirit I feel I need to share with us today. So now that you know this week how this every single person here is going to be facing so many truths about themselves involuntarily, even without people calling them out or anything, although people might get called out this week. It's kind of going to be really involuntary. Just having epiphanies about yourself, and then how are you going to deal with it? Now, you know I don't like to tell you what to do, but I do want to kind of, I guess, talk to you like a mom or something. I don't know, like a teacher, maybe a little bit on teacher mode right now. You do not owe anybody an explanation or justification for why you are the way you are. This week, when you find yourself having an epiphany about yourself, realizing that you could have gone about something differently, or you don't like the way you literally just acted when you were out with someone or doing something, and you feel someone got a glimpse of your shadow self, you do not have to justify or explain your behavior. You do not owe anyone the story of your trauma. You do not owe anyone an explanation of your trauma. And there's another thing, and I just feel like I got some emotions in there, and so the message got muddied. Hold on, let me get back to my center. Okay. You do not owe anyone an explanation of your shadow self, and I actually don't recommend explaining your shadow self or the traumas or the things that you feel hold you back to people anymore, because our words construct realities, and right now the energy of our traumas and the shadow that's currently purging out of our system right now, coming from subconscious into conscious to be observed and loved and transmuted into something different. Well, it's so divine, you guys. Wow, this energy is so strong. I feel my body trying to escape the energy. Like, it's okay, body. Okay. I'm going to get the message again. Okay. So, you do not owe anyone an explanation or justification for your behavior. However, accountability is 5D, which we have access to 5D now. So I'm going to offer you an example. We don't have to justify or explain our behavior, such as, oh my God, I'm so sorry that I just responded that way. It's just I was molested when I was a kid, so now everyone that says that to me, then I feel that way. It's oversharing. It's retaking your traumas and re-solidifying them into reality. Instead, hey, I'm sorry that I just said that. I'm actively working on not interrupting so much, and I'm going to work on that with you. And I respect you, so I hope that didn't do anything. I don't have to bring up a trauma that explained it. Oof, I'm sorry that I just got so triggered right now. I hope you'll forgive me. Sometimes I get emotional and I know that that's just not right. Okay, I've just given you 2 examples. Let me think of another example. You know what? Yesterday when I was talking to you about this, that, and the other, I feel I was being really close-minded and I thought more about your perspective, and I just wanted to apologize for the way that I was responding. I think I could have done better, and I hope that you'll, give me another shot to have those kind of conversations, because I really enjoyed talking with you. Do you see how in all of my apologies and all of my taking accountability, I never once said, I did that because when I was a kid this happened to me. I did that because I just got through a breakup. I did that because I'm just really tired today. I did that because 7.5 years ago on the 3rd Tuesday in May, I got something in my eye. Oh, I'm about to put it back in my eye. Does that resonate, my loves? Honestly, I see that some of you are writing comments. I just can't read them right now because I'm actively channeling. And I don't want to just get any more distracted than I already allowed myself to get by myself. Thank you, my love. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay. So, that was a pretty complete message, right? That felt like a lot. Let's see if I can make that even more cohesive. So, we're going to have a lot more access to verbalizing our issues and where they draw back from. Because like I said, our subconscious is becoming very conscious this week. We're getting access to realize the patterns in the way we think, and really getting access to reconsider the way we go about these things and really clean house in a very efficient way this week. Feels like a portal of energy. Feels like it's something we should take advantage of. Should, I use that word lightly because I hate that word. So Spirit keeps saying shadow self will be splayed out in front of you, your own shadow self. You will suddenly, it's just so much is going to become clear about us, about you this week. And what Spirit is saying is that a lot is going to become clear about yourself. You're going to be learning a lot through exchanges with others, like through interpersonal relationships, socializing, things like that. You're going to be learning a lot about yourself live feed within the conversation. You're going to be learning about yourself. So try and reference back to those take accountability apologies that I just gave, examples I just gave a moment ago, because you're going to want to use those when you're having a conversation and you're just loving this conversation, but then you start to get inauthentic. It was still you. You didn't have someone come over and talk for you. That was you. So it was authentic because it was you. But it's not too late to reset the program, to say, hold on, I don't agree with what I just said. I'm gonna take that back. I actually like yours more. I agree with you, or whatever it is. Trust me that because everyone is going through this, it is going to be such a relief for other people when you model this kind of now moment accountability, non-victimized accountability. You can apologize for something and you can be self-aware about something without having to talk about your childhood trauma and how you got fired and how you're really tired and how all these other external things happened and why you're a victim to those things, and then why the person you're interacting with needs to be your punching bag of your unprocessed emotions about all these other things that are going on in your life. It's I don't want to offer too much tough love, but it's okay, I broke up with my lover, and I got sick, and I broke my heels, and a tire problem. What does any of that have to do with how I treat someone? What? That doesn't make any fucking sense. No. Just no. Moods are moods. Emotions are emotions. But even when I'm pissed off, I'm only 30. Come on, guys. We know where we're directing our emotions. and when we're redirecting our emotions. And I think that's why it's funny when we see a grown-ass adult redirecting their emotions inappropriately. Anyways, that's a thing people do. Whatever. I'm just letting you know. But not my people, right? Not us. We're going through shit in our life that does not affect how we treat other people. And if we find ourselves slipping and someone does get a taste of our shadow self, then we step right back in with our light and we reprogram that energy so that we are not planting black holes of negative energy. Because like in the universe, like a black hole sucks energy in, right? It pulls it back and in. So imagine that image pulling energy down. Every low vibrational seed you plant, every creation that you allow to stay in the physical plane, be it from words or whatever, expression of your energy, from shadow self, you will be implanting that shadow energy onto the physical plane. And so that's why it's really important to be so self-aware, self-reflective, and accountable, that's going to require a little bit of effort, but it's kind of a habit that you build up, and then you get humble enough to where you can just be self-aware and accountable all the time. It's like when someone gets to see a part of your shadow, you realize it, you take a deep breath, and as soon as possible, you're coming back with love and light and accountability. Whether it's with an apology or saying, you know what, I want to correct myself, I want to correct my behavior. But that's how we rewrite programming. And once that happens, you'll find that component of your shadow has a completely different geometry. And it's no longer this thing that works unconsciously, but then it just becomes a part of like your own personal Akashic records, and you become like a master of that topic. And anytime anyone else in the world is triggered by the topic that you healed from in your shadow, you're like a master of it. You're like a master of it. The universe is going to divinely put you in circumstances where you're just living your life, being yourself, and people are going to be learning from you, receiving key codes from you, receiving light codes from you, just from you being yourself, doing your thing, because you've already passed those tests. And that's why us light workers, we'll call ourselves wayshowers sometimes, because it's like, well, I'm going to do this work that no one's ever done before. I'm going to heal this stuff. It's going to make it much easier for them to heal it and for them to access it. I'll activate these doors. I'm going to open these doors bigger. It's going to be easier for them to walk through it. It comes from an energy of service, right? Of high vibrational service, of knowing we're all in this together. And having compassion for those who don't know that we're all in this together. But you don't owe anyone a justification or an explanation of your trauma, of your childhood trauma, of your shadow self, any of that. I do not recommend this week, or I recommend that you try and catch yourself when you trying to find yourself as a victim unnecessarily, because there are no victims in the high vibrational planes. You trying to find yourself as a victim. There's a literal definition of the word victim, and that is not what I'm referring to. We're talking about abstract victim. Oh, I stubbed my toe this morning, so that's why I punched you in the face. That's what I'm talking about. Like, no. Man, why did I have to exaggerate that analogy? I could have been much more subtle in my analogy, and it would have been a lot more realistic. But I hope you got my gist. Okay, the garbage truck is here, and this channeled message is complete, and I really hope it resonates.